Everyone's favorite video for gacha games on the release day. It's time we talk about the tier list. Now, multiple things to mention here because this is probably the most useless video for Trickcal you can watch on any creator. Doesn't matter which one it is, if it's me or anyone else. Tier list for Trickcal will be useless because the game is changing quite a bit. I've mentioned this on other videos and we'll talk about it in a second. But before we start, obviously, hello Traders, welcome back to Waifus. I'm Sefhi, your favorite gambling addict. Today's topic, Trickcal Chibi Go tier list. Korean veteran tier list. That's probably a good title, a good bait title. So the important things to mention before we jump into the tier list, obviously, this is based on the Korean server. So already tells you it should be pretty different. And then second is that there are a lot of characters that were 1 stars in Korea that are 2 stars now on the global server, and some 2 stars that are now 3 stars. For example, this one right here. I think even the free character we are getting for free, yes, Levi. She's a 2 star, but for us it's a 3 star and a decent DPS early on. So before we go into that, it's important to mention that a lot of things are gonna be based on speculation and what we think is gonna be just like the Korean server. That's what I said, that tier lists are going to be useless. Doesn't matter if it's mine or any other. Use them as a reference, use them as something that, okay, it's good information, but don't take them as a fucking Bible that you need to follow to a T. And if this character is T0, I use them. If not, I don't, because it's not like that, okay? Everything we talk about here in this video will be based on the Korean server and will be based on my experience there. And we'll go element by element, talking about some of the units and which ones I recommend, depending what element you want to build. Personalities, elements, I will always call them elements because it's easier to understand. So let's jump directly into this and let's start with the press team, the dark team. The dark team has a few characters that are going to be pretty good early on. Let me make sure you guys have this big enough. So early on, if you like the press team, you probably will have a lot of the strongest characters in the game. First of all, it's not here, but it's also the press is going to be Yomi. Yomi is going to be 100% one of the strongest characters on release. She is a support DPS hybrid. Again, 99% sure she will be broken. There is no reason as to why they would make her weak. Outside of Yomi, Xion is probably the strongest DPS on release for global. On Korea, she has fallen up a bit because Dark Element has released a lot of DPS characters, but for the global server, she will be one of the strongest, if not the strongest DPS overall. Fantastic unit, has really cool skins. She has her bunny, she has her cleaning outfit, and she has this one, which is probably one of my favorite skins in the game. Looks really fucking good. So if you like the dark team, aim to try to get Xion. She will carry your ass. When it comes to Gideon, she's a frontline character. I like her a lot, but her problem, like every frontline DPS, is that they are squishy. For example, one of my strongest characters is Raika. She is a frontline DPS, so she will always have the issue of can she survive long enough to use her skills. If Gideon can use her skills, she would just literally throw herself to the enemy head on and she will bounce between them, then she's pretty good. But the problem is, can you keep her alive until she does that, right? So great unit, great DPS, early on, squishy characters might fall off a little bit because it's hard to keep them alive depending what characters you get. When it comes to the T2 characters, Komi is going to be your tank for the press team, and Levi is the free unit. Again, in here she was a 2-star, but what we could see on the Japanese and global beta, she's a pretty decent DPS early on. Like if you like the press team, considering she is free and a 3-star unit, you can invest into her and use her until other characters drop for this element. Great DPS. When it comes to Posher, she's going to be probably your support early on unless you're getting someone else from other element. I wouldn't bother too much with Rim, which some people were calling the Rappi of this game from Nikke. But yes, your hyper carry is going to be Xion, she's going to be paired with Yomi, and then Komi is going to be your tank. Gideon and Levi can act as sub-DPS characters for now. As for the press team, we can move into Vivacious. I'm gonna be 100% honest, if you like the light element, you're probably the most screwed because they have the least amount of good units early on based on the Korean server. So Ui is gonna be your main support character, your main healer. She's used, even on PvP, she's used everywhere. She's a pretty good healer. Momo was not a day 1 character. She is the Naruto girl. She runs like Naruto, has the same animations as Naruto. She's pretty cute. She's gonna be your main DPS. I don't know where she is right now. I am blind. There she is. Momo is gonna be your main DPS if you like this element. She's a pretty good DPS at that. So you can use both Yui and her. You are pretty good to go. When it comes to the rest of the characters, they are not that great. Now, a couple of these characters were changed for the global server, like Vanna and Benny. They are 3 stars now, so they might be better, I don't know. But when it comes to the actual usage of current characters here, it's just Ui and Momo, nothing else. And when it comes to Rufo, however, you can use her. Rufo will be used for the Adventure Guild system. This is used to level up your buildings, get free resources, crafting, etc. And she is basically the endgame character that I never really bothered to build because I'm a BB simp, but you will be using her here a lot. So it's worth investing in her early on a little bit, but you don't need to worry about her level in order to use her on this system. She can be level 1 and it's fine. So that's for the light element, for the vivacious element. Let's move into my favorite one, which is Innocence. It's my favorite because it has the characters that I like the most, and as you can see on my account, it's also the account that I've invested the most resources into. And you cannot see Bibi right there. So Bibi, once again, best tank in the game. I've explained this multiple times. Fantastic unit. She will carry your ass on every type of content. When it comes to the T1 characters, Hailey is a DPS. She's more of a sub DPS. You're bringing her for her utility. She basically stuns the enemies. That's why you're bringing her. Pretty good sub DPS, and the stun is welcome. Also, really cute. Gavia is a 2-star character that now is a 3-star. I want to believe she's gonna be even stronger, because if they made her a 3-star without changing anything, it would be retarded. But on the Korean server, she is the best 2-star character in the game. She can shield 2 enemies. She's a support character healer, and she will be shielding allies and herself. And her shields are really OP, really good, will keep your team alive. So if you get her early on for the green team, these 3 characters will carry your ass. I don't think green is getting an hyper carry DPS on release. Erpin and Hailey are both nice DPSs, but they are not hyper carries, so I wouldn't count of them for that role. When it comes to everything else below, again, they are not used in Korea. The only character used is Bigwood. The best character in the game, Bigwood. Bigwood is used just like Rufo for the crafting early on. Early on, Bigwood is the character used the most for crafting and getting those resources, because he has a lot of good skills for physical labor. I'll explain this on a separate video tomorrow, but that's the only utility he has. You can keep him, whatever the fuck it is, at level 1, no problem, and still using. Outside of that, Mago, Rone, Sylphid, and Speaky, I cannot say anything unless they be buffed. When it comes to the composed team, there are a few characters in here. Aya was buffed, fantastic DPS nowadays, but I'm gonna be 100% honest, you bring Aya not only for her damage, but for her utility, because Amelia is a better DPS overall. Amelia is a really good character, but she's a pure DPS, nothing else. If you get her early on for a blue team, I'm gonna be honest, you can use her. I like her a lot. She has a couple cute skins as well, right? It's important that your girls get cute skins. So she's a pretty good character if you wanna build a team around the blue units. And when it comes to Picora, she's a great support until other characters come out, because there is nothing else really interesting. Important to mention SP, it's only a T2 based on her aside. Asides are these items, these icons right here. Those are special that will change how the character kit works, their skills, etc. We don't have this on global, so you can expect SP to be going to T3 most likely. Scylla can also be used as a DPS early on if you have nothing else. It's an option, not a great one. And then when it comes to Jade, same thing. Can be used as a DPS, but I wouldn't expect anything good for her. When it comes to the other characters, if they have been buffed, I cannot speak on that because we haven't seen much of Global yet. So as for the blue characters, we can move into the last, the madness, the red element. First of all, you have Chloe, great tank. If you get her, obviously she is not as good as Bibi. There is no character as good as Bibi in my opinion, but I'm a simp, so take that with a grain of salt. Great tank, she's used on both PvE and PvP. You can use her on a madness team. The bad thing about red is that on release, there is nothing great. There is like no other character that's actually good. Now, obviously, if we count the Korean characters, there are plenty of them that are pretty good, with Anette, with Nettie, with even Pira if you want, with Rim, Chaos, and Renewa. Fantastic DPS slash support with Renewa. Poland as well, the new Tick here. Like, they have a lot of great characters, but not in the global server. Global is getting a bit cooked when it comes to the madness element. You have Maestro, which could be used. Ned and Sis are kind of copium. Diana is a good support if you want to use her. But that's about it. And again, that's what I said. Use this only as a reference, because maybe some of these characters are actually pretty good on the global server. We do not know yet until we play this week and we can test everything. But that's basically everything regarding all the characters for now for the global server and what you can expect from them, and in my opinion, which ones are worth more investing into early on or not. That said, use your waifus. This game is a pretty casual, chill game. Any questions you guys might have, feel free to leave a comment. And as usual, we are live every single day. Links down below. Love you all bastards. Good luck with your pool the internets. And I'll see you in the next one.